Today, we're doing another shoe review. It's all about the ASICS Glide Ride. Let's take a ride. Slow ride, doo 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 doo. Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Running with James. It is another shoe review today. Today we're talking about the ASICS Glide Ride. So the ASICS Glide Ride is one of ASICS' newest shoes. ASICS is finally coming into the 21st century and they have made some really cool updates to some of their new shoes. And they've got all kinds of new stuff coming out, so I'm excited to check them all out. But today we're gonna be talking about the Glide Ride. So as usual, we're gonna take you down kind of a rundown of the upper, the midsole, the outsole technology. We'll talk about my likes and my dislikes, and then overall we'll let you know. Today we're starting a new type of scoring system, so I'm excited about it. Hopefully it'll give you a better idea of what I really think about it, and we'll get into it at the end of the video. So let's jump into that upper and talk all about things ASICS Glide Ride. Okay guys, let's talk about that upper. So the upper is ASICS engineered mesh upper. Now this particular shoe is all one piece, complete with overlays for added extra support. Plenty of room in the toe box, no real issues there. Plenty of rooms for those toes to splay, and you still get that good lockdown fit. In your heel counter, you have plenty of padding in the heel. So you've got a very nice padded collar going around the back, and then a lot of extra plastic overlays to give you a really stiff and very supportive heel. The upper, as far as the laces are concerned, it's a standard lacing system. The tongue is not attached, so it's a separated tongue, but the tongue is extremely padded. When I say extremely padded, I mean I'm talking like cow tongue here, right? So it's a very thick tongue. It's a very high tongue as well that sits up pretty high on your ankle. So overall, the ASICS upper is all about that mesh, baby. Let's talk about that midsole. For the midsole, ASICS is using their Flight Foam technology, which is supposed to be a softer, a little more responsive foam than what they've been utilizing in the past. And toward the front, they're using their Glide Sole technology. So it's a little bit stiffer in the front than it is in the heel. And the purpose of that, the reason they're using that, supposedly is to help with efficiency through your stride. So in other words, with the rocker, the very exaggerated rocker, it's supposed to limit the movement of the ankle joint, which means you take pressure off of your Achilles, you take pressure off your calf. The more efficient those movements are, the less energy you use, the longer you can go, the faster you can go, right? So overall, it just makes you much, much more efficient. And so we'll talk about that here in a second when I get to my likes and dislikes. But in your heel, you have a 31 millimeter stack height, and then in your forefoot, you're looking at a 26 millimeter stack height. So all in all, giving you a 5 millimeter drop from heel to toe. All right, so moving on to the outsole. The outsole of the ASICS Glide Ride is a fully rubberized, there's nothing special about it, no kind of special rubber, Goodyear rubber, anything like that. It's ASICS rubber that completely covers, for the most part, the entire of the outsole, giving you ample traction, whether it's wet or dry. Definitely a road shoe, not something you would want to use on the trail, just based off of this outsole pattern. All right, so what are my likes? What are my dislikes? What about this shoe am I into? What about this shoe am I not into? So let's start with the upper. I like the upper. The upper is a great fit. Didn't have any fit issues, didn't have any hot spot issues whatsoever. No worries about any kind of blisters or anything on my toes or on my ankle. Had zero slippage in the ankle. All in all, this upper is a great fitting upper. Now I will say most of my miles that I put on this shoe were during the colder months, right? So pretty much from December all the way through March. So we had cool weather and then spring weather. So haven't really had to run in, or haven't really had a chance to run in it in too hot of temperatures. So you know, it's a little thick, right? So it does have some thick material, so it could be an issue in those hotter months. But overall, I really like the fit of it. It was breathable and did not have any issues with that. So I like the fit. The only thing I would say, the only bad side, the only downside I would say maybe could be this in the front toe box. You see how there's kind of some wrinkling right there on that toe box. It doesn't cause a problem. I don't feel any kind of problem because my toes are not at the end or anything like that. More than anything, I think just aesthetically, it may cause an issue, but I didn't have any issues with that whatsoever. As far as the midsole, when I first put the shoe on, I was like, this is really, really weird. This shoe is not made for walking, okay? So when you walk in it, it feels kind of funky, but as soon as you start running, as soon as you start putting on the miles, and this is definitely one of those shoes, the more miles you put on the shoe, the better the shoe feels. And so you do feel, I will say, from my personal opinion, I felt the added efficiency or the difference in that rocker. I did feel like my ankles, I did feel like my calves weren't nearly as beat up on 22, 24 mile runs as maybe some of the other shoes that I've worn. So I would say, for real, this sole, this technology they're using, I didn't find it was super cushiony, so the flight foam was not soft whatsoever. So there's a good and a bad, right? So it's a like and a dislike. So when I first put it on, I was like, man, this is really stiff, but the more you wear it, the more miles you put on it, it gets softer and you start feeling that rebound. And so what I found, or what I guess the positive really for that whole stiffness of the insole or the midsole, is that this thing is going to be able to put on the miles. You're going to be able to put miles on this shoe. That includes the rubber as well. So I have about 210 miles on this shoe, running anywhere from a 22 to 24 mile run. And you look at this shoe and there's some shoes that I have that have 50 to 60 miles on them that have way more wear and tear on this shoe. So, you know, I think this shoe is going to easily get you over 400 miles, maybe even up to that 500 mile mark before you need to get something new. And so for the bang for the buck, this shoe, I paid about $150 for this shoe. So for the mileage you're going to get out of it, for you know, the extended distance you can get into it, getting up to 500 miles in this shoe, 400 miles in the shoe, I think it's a good deal. I think it's a really good deal. And probably right now, they are probably on sale and you can get them even cheaper than that. So all in all, I would say that I am a fan of the Glide Ride. The only dislike, right? So I want to talk about my likes and dislikes. The only dislike I guess I would really have is the weight of the shoe. So this shoe in a size 9 comes in about 9.9 ounces. In my 10.5, it came in 10.5 ounces. So as a daily trainer, that's probably a little heavier than what I would normally want to wear. But because of that rocker, because of the comfort of the shoe and the longevity of the shoe, you know what? I think it's worth the extra few ounces. Now, I will say they have come out recently with a new shoe they're calling the Evo Ride, which is about an ounce and a half lighter, depending on what size you wear, than this shoe that they're using as a daily trainer as well. So on that shoe, you can probably get a little quicker miles in it, and you can still probably get up some longer runs just based on your fitness level or what kind of shoes you like. So all in all, I would say I am a fan of the Glide Ride. So our new system, our new scoring system is don't bother, sleep on it, or a must-have. And so for me, I would say the ASICS Glide Ride is a must-have, especially if you're gonna be putting in a lot of miles, especially if you need a good overall shoe to do recovery runs, to do long runs, if you're trying to train for a half marathon or a marathon. I think this is a great shoe to put into your rotation for that long haul, for that long season ahead. All right, guys, thanks for coming in today. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned something. If you've tried the Glide Ride before, or if you're thinking about it again, why don't you put some comments if you have questions down. I'd love to answer those questions. We want to get that communication going on. And so we got a lot of reviews coming up. I have like 4 shoes that we're working on right now. Next week, we'll be giving you a first impression review on the Skechers Speed Elite, right? This shoe is supposed to be fast. Is it? We'll find out. So thanks for coming in today, guys. If you enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up, like us, share us. We thank you so much for coming in. Remember, as always, if you change your mind, you can change your life. You guys, be amazing.